The happiest days of our lives often arrive dressed in music and smiles, but sometimes, beneath the wedding lights and red silk ribbons, fate hides a truth so heavy it can stop a heart mid-beat. On a spring afternoon in China, a mother sat quietly at her son's wedding, watching a young woman walk toward the altar. In that single moment, joy turned to shock, and shock to unbearable recognition. A birthmark, a memory, a loss that had never healed. What should have been a celebration of love became something far greater, a reunion written by destiny itself. A mother's loss, a wound that never closed. In silence to the first cry that fills a room, motherhood binds itself into a woman's soul in ways no words can fully describe, and when that bond is broken, the pain does not fade with time. It simply learns how to hide. More than 20 years earlier in Suzhou City, Jiangsu Province, a young woman became a mother to a baby girl. She remembered everything clearly, the tiny fingers curling around hers, the warmth of a fragile body sleeping against her chest, the faint mark on her daughter's arm that looked like a whisper left by fate. She never imagined that this child would vanish from her life. The loss came suddenly. A single moment of carelessness, a crowded street, a blink that lasted less than a second, and the child was gone. What followed was not just grief, but a lifetime of searching. She called out names that never answered. She visited police stations, hospitals, neighborhoods she had never walked before. Every little girl she passed on the street carried a question in her heart. Could that be her? Years turned into decades, her hair grayed, her life moved forward, but her heart stayed behind, frozen at the moment her daughter disappeared. Friends urged her to let go. Family told her to accept fate. But a mother's heart does not obey reason. Even when hope grows thin, it never truly dies. Eventually, life offered her a fragile kind of healing. Unable to fill the emptiness, she adopted a little boy. She loved him deeply, not as a replacement, but as another chance to give all the love she still carried. He grew up kind, steady, and grateful. Watching him become a man gave her comfort, yet the wound remained. She never stopped wondering if somewhere her daughter was still alive, still waiting, still searching. She told no one how often she dreamed of a grown woman turning around in a crowd, calling her mom. Dreams that always ended before she could reach her. Then came March 31st, 2021. Her son was getting married. It was meant to be the proudest day of her life. She had no idea it would become the most overwhelming day she would ever endure. The wedding day, when fate revealed its hand. The wedding hall was filled with red lanterns, red ribbons, red happiness. Music drifted through the air as guests smiled, laughed, and toasted to a future filled with promise. The mother sat among relatives, her eyes warm with pride as she watched her son stand tall in his suit. Then the bride appeared. She wore a traditional red gown, elegant and radiant. As she walked forward, something stirred in the mother's chest, a sensation she could not explain. Her smile faded, replaced by a strange tightening in her throat. She told herself it was nerves, emotion, nothing more. But as the bride raised her arm slightly, the mother saw it, a birthmark, small, distinct, familiar in a way that made the world tilt. Her hands began to tremble, her breath grew shallow. That mark, she had traced it countless times in her dreams. She had memorized it the way a mother memorizes her child's face. The more she looked, the more her heart screamed what her mind refused to believe. No. It can't be. She tried to turn away, to focus on the ceremony, but her eyes betrayed her. Maternal instinct, ancient, unyielding, took control. Gathering every ounce of courage she had, she approached the bride's parents during a quiet moment. Her voice shook as she asked a question that seemed to come from somewhere deep within her soul. "May I ask, was your daughter adopted?" The bride's parents froze. Shock flashed across their faces. This was a secret they had kept for decades, a truth they had never told anyone, not even the daughter they raised with all their hearts. Years ago, they had found a little girl by the roadside. No parents, no information, only silence and tears. They took her home, not out of obligation, but out of love. Faced with the pleading eyes of the woman before them, they knew they could not lie. Yes, the word landed like thunder. The world blurred as the mother felt her knees weaken. Everything she had buried for 20 years surged back to the surface. Guilt, longing, regret, hope. She rushed toward the bride, holding her hands, gently turning her arm, confirming what her heart already knew. This was her daughter. The bride stood frozen, confused by the sudden intensity of the moment. It was only after her parents spoke, voices trembling, that the truth finally reached her. The woman she had thought was her mother-in-law was her biological mother. The bride broke down. Tears fell freely as decades of separation collapsed into a single shattering embrace. A wedding had become a reunion. Fear, truth, and the relief that followed. As tears flowed and whispers spread, a new fear gripped the room. If the groom's mother was the bride's biological mother, then what did that mean for the marriage? Murmurs rippled through the guests. Confusion turned to unease. Was this a tragedy disguised as joy? Sensing the panic, the mother stepped forward, wiping her tears. Her voice, though emotional, was steady as she revealed the final truth. The groom was not her biological son. After losing her daughter, she had adopted him. He was raised with love, but they shared no blood. Fate had not played a cruel joke. It had written a miracle instead. The room exhaled as one. Relief washed over the guests. Smiles returned. Applause broke out, mingled with tears of joy. What could have become a heartbreaking separation instead transformed into something extraordinary, double happiness. The groom, stunned but grateful, held his wife's hands tighter than ever. He realized that the woman who raised him had unknowingly guided him back to the sister his mother had lost, without breaking a single bond of love. A daughter-in-law became a daughter. A son became a bridge between the past and the present. The irony was undeniable, yet no one could deny the beauty of it. The adopted son had unknowingly repaid his parents in the most meaningful way possible by bringing their lost child home. The wedding resumed, but it was no longer just a union of two people. It became a celebration of family restored, wounds healed, and destiny fulfilled. When love finally finds its way home. That day, beneath red lanterns and wedding music, fate revealed its gentlest side. What began as the happiest celebration of a son's marriage became something deeper, the closing of a wound that had bled silently for more than 20 years. For the mother, the nightmare that haunted her waking hours finally ended. The child she thought she had lost forever stood before her, alive, loved, and whole. For the daughter, the question she never knew she carried, "Who am I?" found its answer in the arms of the woman who had searched for her across decades. This story reminds us that family is not always shaped by intention, but by endurance. Love survives separation. Bonds remain, even when broken by time and distance. And sometimes, destiny waits patiently, choosing the most unexpected moment to return what was lost. A wedding became a reunion, a loss became a miracle, and a family, once fractured by fate, was made whole again. If there is one truth this story leaves us with, it is this: love never truly disappears. It waits, and when the moment is right, it finds its way home, even if it takes a lifetime.